Good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Facebook viewers. Good morning, Instagram viewers. Good morning to everybody. Beautiful day. No sunshine, so I'm going to stick some sun up here for us. You know, we always got to have it sunny and beautiful, no matter what we go through. Today, we start out with, we send our prayers and our thoughts and our well wishes for, the people in Central America who just suffered a hurricane. And this is by far one of the most severe hurricanes of the year, which is a Category 5 hurricane, which is the worst. Also, the records for these hurricanes this year of any time in history, which is 30 and still counting, which the highest up until this point was back in, I believe, 2005, which was 20. So this is shattering every historic record. We're everything out here, fires, hurricanes. So we send our well wishes and our prayers, to the people in Central America who are going through this hurricane. Today's topic is manipulation and you. And the manipulation that we're going to be talking about today is not this. When we were children and our parents wanted us to eat our vegetables, our parents would sit in front of us, put the plate in front of us, eat the vegetables in front of us, and it was through that trust we began to eat those vegetables, or we began to eat something that we didn't like. So that was a form of manipulation, which is a good manipulation because it got us to eat vegetables and appreciate vegetables. So now we look at what bad manipulation is. Now, bad manipulation is, since we talked about Central America, let's talk about Venezuela. All right? So bad manipulation is where you have an impoverished country who, they have nothing outside of oil that they can really trade. So it's a strapped country, especially with the oil prices being what they are. They can't make money. But they have the lowest and cheapest gas in the world. So, but what they told the people was that they wanted to, transfer their what their national commodity is, which was oil, and go into the avocado business. And by going into the avocado business, they said, well, okay, we'll use this land for farming, even though, the people on that land would have to relocate. And by doing this, they thought that it was a good deal and that, the people would get jobs, it would bring, money into the economy. But what it ended up happening is it did none of the above. And it also is draining the country of its water. So it was manipulation to say, hey, a good thing we're going to do, but in actuality, it wasn't a good thing. So today, I want to take you down memory lane for all of us that are of age that can remember instances in these stories and how we felt about these stories. Because the stories, I'm going to give you 3 stories and how these stories, through time, and it received worldwide recognition, worldwide love, prayers, donations, and they weren't the truth. It was manipulation. So now we're going to go to October of 1990, and this is in front of the whole world, where a young Kuwaiti girl got up in front of the world, in front of Congress, and talked about all the atrocities that she faced while she was in Kuwait and in Iraq, and what Saddam Hussein was doing to all the people, torture, raping, pouring chemicals on children. It made the world sick. But what the world found out afterwards is this girl lied. Not only did she lie, she was the ambassador's daughter. So, this girl never had to suffer in her life. She never, had to go through any of the things that the people that she was talking about was going through. She was lying. Not only was she lying, she was coached by a publishing company firm here in the United States. I believe out of New York City, but it was P. Hillen Knowlton, and they coached her. They coached her to say what she did, to cry when she cried, how to answer every question, and she manipulated the world to go. She manipulated us in the United States to back a war. It was a lie. So that was one manipulation. Now let's go into something a little bit different. Now we're going to come up to 2012, where you have Manti Te'o out of the University of Notre Dame. So Manti Te'o was a football player, average football player, but good enough to make it to the NFL. So, you know, he had finished in 2012, finished the season, entered for the draft, and when he entered for the draft, his grandmother happened to die. But on the day that his grandmother died, his girlfriend died, and she was suffering from leukemia. So prayers came out from all over the college, all over colleges, all over the country. Donations, prayers, sympathies, well wishes, and everything that, you know, you would do in a situation like this, because, you know, we're human. And what ended up happening was it wasn't true. You know, it was true that his grandmother had passed away, but the woman that he said he was dating, which was his girlfriend, and she had leukemia and that she had died, this wasn't true. It was actually a man who was catfishing Manti Te'o into believing that he was talking to a woman, and that the woman had leukemia and the woman had died. But by not knowing, he was manipulated, but that manipulation carried across to the public, the general public. And this is what this is about. You know, how, you know, we follow things, but we have to fact check these things and not be quick to jump and to believe everything that's in front of us. So now, he was also the 2012 in the Heisman race for Heisman. So, you know, a lot of these things and a lot of this sympathy kind of was working in that favor, you know, to boost the draft pick and, you know, as far as his run for the Heisman. All these things were affected by this catfish. So, and manipulation. Okay. So now, we're going to go to August of 1994. And this is a story that touched us all. And this story has to do with a woman named Susan Smith. Now, Susan Smith, back in August of 1994, she told the police, as well as the news, that a black man had carjacked her and left in the vehicle with her 2 children in it. And the world was devastated. Again, you know, well-wishers, prayers, donations, volunteers, you know, standing there, candlelight visuals, you know, standing there by her door, you know, showing her all kinds of love and support, which we're supposed to, because we're human, and that's what we do. We have sympathy because we're human. So, long story short, after investigation, they found out that this woman, Susan Smith, was having an affair with a man who did not want children. He was a wealthy man, did not want children. And she was willing to kill her children to be with this man. There were black men who were arrested for this crime. There was one black man who was in jail at the time for this crime. Innocent man. So, you know, manipulation is real. You know, manipulation is real. It's cold out. It's cold out. Manipulation is real. And there's more instances that I can use than just this one. We can go on and on and on and on. And we're not going to do that because we need to stop that. We need to step back, look at things before we go forward, and stop speeding up, going along with the time, not giving ourselves a chance to think. So all too often we get trapped in a person's story, and we get trapped in the story because we we identify what we've been through. So we say, okay, I've been through that, so that I believe that that's true. But we're going to get to this. Not realizing that a liar has no compassion. So even in a story, if a person has had the capability of lying, no compassion in that lie. There's no compassion in that person to be honest with you and tell you the truth. No matter if it's a person you don't know, it doesn't matter if it's a person that you do know. You know, a liar is a liar. A liar and a manipulator are no different, one and the same. So many times we find that there are always two sides. The person who's telling the story and the truth. So it's up to us YouTubers that we become more objective, taking the time to fact check what we need to know, what we ourselves know, and things that we need to learn, because we always have to be willing to learn, you know, or we'll be manipulated. Manipulation will always be around if we're unwilling to learn about ourselves and about what's true and what's not true, and taking the time to look into a story and not just follow a story. Okay? So when we ignore a lie, when we support the lie, when we act on the lie, we become the lie. So if somebody manipulates us and they tell us, and we act on something that is based on something that they manipulated us to do, it's our fault. It's not that person's fault. It's our fault. But, you know, society, we go back and we say, well, this person told me, or that person told me. No, it's our fault. You know, we accepted that and we acted on it. So we have to accept the repercussions that come from being manipulated. We should never be in a rush to give attention. Never be in a rush to give attention. Slow down, slow it down. You know, we should take the time to assess and observe what any person is saying, because we live in a me first world today. Again, it goes with the two stories, the story they want you to know and the truth. And that's me first, because if I can lie and get away with it, I'm going to lie. And that's more prevalent in relationships. You find that type of manipulation in. But attention, I'm using the word attention because we are human. We want to help. This is a quality that separates us from all creatures on the face of the earth. The fact that we can care. And however, we are also equipped with a quality that we rarely use. And that quality is discernment. By assessing what a person speaks, we process what we know through our self-knowledge, what we identify with as a fact. By observation, what a person's action speaks. Do the words complement the actions that are coming from a person's mouth? Excuse me. By observation, or to go on to, which leaves discernment. The ability to feel, understand, and identify. What discernment does is say all of the above, with the exception, let me look into this first. Let's slow things down a little. Let's not be too quick to react. Those are words that we don't hear too much these days, but we need to get back to them, because these are the words that protect us in all things. And no one can ever manipulate us if we use those three sentences. And we apply those to everything that we do in our daily lives and our interactions with people. Society is speeding up in order to do away with using discernment. That's why everything runs so fast. So let's slow ourselves down, make good decisions, and in all we do, because real change begins with us. It begins with you and me. You know, the world can do what it do, but if we stand our ground and we educate ourselves, then no one can ever manipulate us. So that'll be one less person that, you know, people can run a game on. So equip yourself with the knowledge to, You know, never be in a rush for things, and realize that manipulation is being used right now in 2020 more than ever before. We're seeing it first class. So I want everyone to have an awesome day. Glad to be here with you. It's cold, my nose is running, my fingers are numb, but I'm here with you and we got this. And with that, I want to say everyone have an awesome day. Click, like, subscribe. Leave questions or topics that you want covered. Go into a playlist, because it's not only a playlist, it's a list of all different speakers, as well as information, factual information on the things that we talk about on this channel. And with that, I want to say have an awesome day, and everyone, peace and blessings.
Ooh.